We're back, live in studio with Samuel Azurzer in the business headquarters of Radio Shalom 1650 AM in Montreal with the Money and Business Show. You have questions about your personal finances? You need advice in making sound financial decisions? Samuel and his guests are ready to take your call at 514-738-4100, extension 200. And now, back to the Money and Business Show.
Today our topic is Turkey, a model of democracy and Islam, and the roadmap to cultural peace in the Middle East. And today we're going live to Istanbul, Turkey, with Sinem Tezyappar, is a political and religious commentator, peace activist, and executive producer at a Turkish TV network. Welcome again.
Hello.
Yes. By the way, if someone wants to go on your website and read a little bit more about you, how do we find you?
They can reach me via my Facebook, Twitter accounts, and my website is www.sinemtezyappar.com.
Good. Okay. And
my name and surname together.
Okay. So Sinem Tezyappar, right? That's the
yes.
Okay. Tezyappar, right? .com.
Yes. By the way, you are the best Turkish pronouncer.
Really?
Yes, indeed.
So good. I can pronounce your name right. Good.
Yes.
Sinem, I know we spoke about the Arab Spring and the outcry of the people yearning for democratic rights and freedoms. You spoke about all that, but the majority also want their governments to reflect their religious values as well, right?
Yes. For instance, in Turkey, AK Party has a support of conservative votes, and they have their expectations. And just like the difference of Obama and Bush administrations, there will always be differences in terms of emphasis to certain issues. However, this does not give them or anyone to the right to impose their worldview, faith, or morality to others. It doesn't give them the right to interfere to our personal decisions. So, despite the fact that they represent a certain group of people, they still should not be telling us what is wrong or right. I think the government should give emphasis on education and public awareness programs and leave the rest to people's decisions, because we select our leaders to serve, not to design our lives.
So, Sinem, I want you to comment. We're going to be listening to a clip in maybe about 10 seconds or less, but I want you to comment on this, an economic miracle under threat has been going on. But let's hear a clip. Go ahead.
Okay.
It started as an environmental protest. People who didn't want an Istanbul park turned into a shopping mall. What it became has had an impact far beyond that. Turkey's image, its economy, they're both at risk from a growing protest movement and the government's heavy-handed response to it. The stock market saw its biggest drop in a decade. Yields on some government bonds jumped as much as 2% in less than a month, and the Turkish lira fell to an all-time low against the dollar, prompting the central bank to intervene. Sensing the risk to his economy, Prime Minister Erdogan was in no mood to negotiate.
The interest rate lobby exploited my nation for years, but no longer. I am telling this to whomever. 1 bank, 2 banks, 3 banks. You have started this fight. You will pay for it. Those who try to bring the stock exchange down, we will throttle you.
It's the biggest challenge to Erdogan's 10-year reign, a time which has seen exceptional economic growth and strong support at the ballot box.
Sinem, we just heard a clip here. If that would happen, the stock market also would crash here in Canada and United States, of course, And you're right, there's a fear out there that maybe somebody's controlling the stock market, but we're not getting into that, maybe to another subject. But, Sinem, is the ongoing street protest and the government's response to them, is it affecting the Turkish economy at this point?
Sam, it's interesting that you are bringing up this issue because just last week our finance minister, Mr. Mehmet Şimşek, said that there is no significant impact or permanent damage to our economy.
None?
Yes, very minimum.
Okay.
People were inclined to associate the fall in the stock exchange to demonstrations. However, as our finance minister also explained, it was mostly an outcome of the U.S. Federal Reserve's changing statements regarding the quantitative easing. There has been very limited outflows from equity and bond markets. It is around, to be specific, 1.2 to $1.3 billion when compared to net inflows, which is $24 billion over the last 12 months.
Wow.
So, in short, yes, there is no liquidity leaving Turkey, and the economy is still in a solid state.
That's amazing because you know, we usually when there's demonstrations like in Egypt and you know, anywhere in the Middle East, you usually see the stock market going down, liquidity leaving, but the Turkish economy is strong enough to withstand demonstrations like this because of the democracy and the system that they have.
Yes, indeed. Maybe I can give some numbers because during the 10 years of ruling of AK Party government, there has been an exceptional economic growth. The inflation has come down from 30% to 6.6. Exports are up from 36 billion a year to 153 billion. And the GDP per capita is now about $10,000, which was not more than 3,500.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. And as a side note, the opposition gathered at least 1 million of people for a mass rally just before the last elections. However, AK Party raised their votes to 50%, and the economy kept growing. So, we are resistant to these our economy is resistant to such protests, and on the other hand, the protests have faded anyway.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to the point that I'm making is that there's demonstrations, but you know, just as there'll be demonstrations here in Canada or United States, there's very little impact on the economy. That's what you're saying.
Yes, indeed. So money is in the markets in Turkey, and nothing has changed. Nothing significant has changed.
Wow,
yes.
Your English is impeccable. I just want to say we do understand. It's very good.
Yes, I have my limitations, but.
Well, that's good. Where did you learn English, by the way? Where did you learn English?
In college, in university, and.
Okay.
And because I needed that for my activities besides work, business.
So you must have practiced also, no? People who spoke English and so on, right?
No, it's like jumping into the sea without knowing how to swim.
Yeah.
So you learn while you are in the sea.
Good, good. Okay, that's great. Sinem, on May 9th, 2013, we're going to go we're going to be talking about a few more things about the. See, I just jumped a question here for some reason over here, but what I really wanted to talk about is, you know, we're talking about the on May 9th, 2013. You set up an international conference, an Istanbul roadmap to culture and peace in the Middle East, right? It was called the Track 3 Diplomacy towards the development of culture of peace in the Middle East. Can you tell us a little bit more of what you're doing? And you know, religious leaders went there and diplomats, and the message that came across it, by the way.
Okay, so the Track 3 diplomacy, which is also known as cultural diplomacy, is people-to-people diplomacy. So it involves the individuals, non-governmental organizations' efforts to achieve a positive change in the political arena. For this specific conference, I worked with, for instance, the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy from Berlin and the Inter-Parliamentary Coalition for Global Ethics from Israel. And a UN top official was also present in the conference to see how this kind of meeting could be a model for a new platform within the UN body. Because most of the time, politicians work alone, and they disregard the influence of political leaders in conflict resolutions. However, I think the role of religion in politics, especially for the Middle East, it's very, very crucial. Because religion here is in the life and soul of Middle East. And in our case, my goal was to promote peace and brotherhood via these meetings, conferences, generating media exposure to shape the public opinion so as to assist political steps. Because Sam, as you know, peace cannot be imposed to people, and this cannot be achieved via cold political meetings. Mm-hmm. We need spiritual leaders who can be influential in shaping people's souls so that they are more capable, more open to peace and understanding the other side.
So you organize all this, right? The cultural diplomacy, you had Knesset member Rabbi Yitzchak Cohen, and you had Rabbi Yitzchak Dayan. I mean, you had some big names over here. I'm looking at Dr. Sheikh Ramzi, executive member of the Muslim Council of Britain. You had some heavy hitter here. Knesset member Rabbi Nissim Zev, founder of the Shas Party, chairman of the Knesset and caucus. All in Turkey to talk about the cultural diplomacy and peace in the Middle East. That took a lot of effort.
Yes, indeed.
That took a lot of effort, and that's why when I looked at your website and I read it, I said, "Wow, that's amazing what you just did here." There's not that many people that can do that. To have all these, you know, the rabbis and the Knesset members and so on. But we're going to get into that. We're going to go through a commercial right now, okay? We have, well, our topic today, our topic is Turkey, a model of democracy and Islam, and the roadmap to culture of peace in the Middle East. We have Sinem Tezyappar is a political and religious commentator coming to you live from Istanbul, Turkey. My name is Samuel Izerza for the Money and Business Show on Radio Shalom, CJRS 1650 AM in Montreal. We'll be right